Do you have any questions, any comments? Yes.
I'm on the edge of this experience. I don't engage in, but I appreciate where we are.
Okay.
And you use the analogy of muscles.
Okay.
And how on a weekend you wouldn't expect to be stronger.
Yes.
From like the best you can describe it, because I know it's vague, how would you describe after a year of exploration of this and truly getting into it?
Uh-huh.
How would you be stronger, the best you can describe it? How would you expect to feel?
Okay.
You don't feel at this moment.
Okay. So that somebody once asked me that question, and but he put a longer time frame. But my answer was like this. I said, okay, if you meditate regularly for this period of time, you will become like a normal person. And what is a normal person? So there is a book. It's actually it's a Brazilian author, and the book is called Normose, means the study of normality. And he said, the author said that he wanted to know what is a normal person. So he didn't know where to start from. So he started from the opposite, like if the person is like very stressed out, is it normal? No. Okay, no. And like this, he was, so a person is very depressed. Is it normal? No, it's not normal. Okay, so. And then he said that in the end, he came with like a definition of a saint, a person who is happy, living a good life, managing all the difficulties of life, carrying on life with a positive spirit, doing, contributing positively to the environment and to the community, like that. So I would say if one takes up meditation on a regular basis, the person will be like a normal human being. Yeah, in that sense. Yeah, because when I started reading about, let's say, spirituality, meditation, yogic techniques, I read much about one feeling like states of mind that is like beyond comprehension, and seeing this and feeling that. And so when the first time I learned to do meditation, I was, had that expectation that when I go there, like this will happen and that will happen. And nothing happened. It was a very, serene situation like that. So I was feeling, oh, maybe this meditation doesn't work, maybe I should try something else. But it was another monk like I am today, and he said, no, it's not like that. You have to practice regularly. Then you will feel. I started practicing regularly, and the change I felt was subtle. Was just like things that used to bother me a lot were not doing like that anymore. Situations that I would feel like I would face it in a different way. So that was what changed. But it was not that I would sit there and feel this and feel that, like that.
That's the part that would touch on my expectation, that your perspective would start to shift. Mm-hmm. So I guess when you lift weights,
yeah,
you can do 3 pull-ups now.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of measurement.
Exactly.
And this is such a nuanced internal exploration that I don't know what the measurement criteria would be. But when you talk about after a month or 3 months or 6 months or 6 years, suddenly some wave comes. You just steer into it and how
exactly.
You're doing it. From the lens of, is this working? Kind of is the flavor in that last part when you said, I just felt perspective, I think was what I would kind of expect, looking from the outside. Is like, that would be very appealing. But I could believe that would be something you'd get out of it, something before that used to upset you quickly in traffic might just be...
That's what happens.
Not
Yeah.
on that,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
It can be different for each person too, right?
Yes.
Depending on where you're starting from.
What happens is that each mind is like a receptacle or like a, let's say, a vase or a container. And the question is like I'm putting water. I'm the same question, what's your favorite color? But when it comes in that mind, it takes a certain shape. If the mind is different, it takes a different shape, right? So now, suppose we are facing situations, let's say, as the shape that our mind has taken. Now, if I'm putting meditation, and this meditation is bringing peace, it's pushing, how to say, that to change shape. Depressed, but now it's changing to a different shape, maybe a little bit more relaxed, or maybe, or it could be that it forces the depression, so you feel it more, but it's actually going out, you know. So the meditation has also this effect of changing the mind. So it can bring changes in our life, you know, like let's say situations may happen in my life that will force. And that also can be the effect of practicing. Yeah. Okay. So the real meditation is not relaxation. Like relaxation, you can lie down here and we can guide you in a relaxation, and you will come to a point that your body and you are really relaxed, and when you nice. The meditation is not a relaxation, but activating the mind more, you know, and bringing it deeper. So, and the different layers have different characteristics that can be awakened.
Stanford had this really interesting study about how by meditation you're training your brain to differentiate, to recognize the difference between fear and danger. Because most of us, we live, because our brain is our best friend, and when we get into situations, it tries to collect the data and help us to make a decision. But unfortunately, most of that data is from the past. So you create fear without even dealing with the real danger. But if when you meditate, you're retraining your brain to focus more on the present time. And instead of like looking at someone that looks like that, and then your brain says like this guy is this, so this is how he's going to act. But if you live on the present, you'll focus on what is happening now, and by meditating, you're training your brain to focus on like the present time.
Yeah, that also.
And I mean, if before it was like a hippie kind of thing, you know, but right now, I know Google has like a class on meditation every 3 months for their high top range people.
Yeah.
And a lot of most CEOs are aware of like how effective it is.
They are trying to do it also for the purpose of, how to say, improving their performance in, let's say, the business world and like that. And that can be beneficial to the individual to cope with the situations, but it's creating a limited effect on the society, because they are concentrating on using it to improve their performance in keeping the society as it is. So that's one. Maybe, yeah. So at the same time we meditate for our benefit, we have also to benefit the society, because as you go deeper in your meditation, you will see that we are not little islands. There is some connection. You know, like for example, this hand may not realize that it's connected with this one. So it will see, oh, this is disturbing, taking my place, cut it off. But the whole body will die if that happens. You know? So in the same way, one aspect of meditation is your personal practice, and that helps you. But if you also don't do something positive for your community, environment, and everything, your progress will be limited. You know, you will be move a certain way, but they will not be easy to go forward.
So is that factual to say just meditation is not good enough? It has to be meditation based on how can I optimize my life and serve humanity?
You have to connect both, yeah. Then you move with maximum speed, yeah.
It implies a measurement that might be a behavioral change.
Sorry?
A behavioral change.
It will be a behavioral change on yourself also, yes, yeah.
That would be kind of an answer to my earlier question too.
Mm.
So what kinds of behaviors do you see a year later
Yeah.
that may not have occurred to you, or maybe you'd resist?
In the beginning, okay, suppose somebody is very much about me, you know. After you meditate for some time, you start seeing other people, feeling them more, you know, and even other beings. Because in the end, let's say that I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper, and I'm connecting with pure consciousness. And that's where all the peace, tranquility, and everything comes from. Okay. At the same time, everything in the world is made of that same consciousness. So that it's like you go deeper and deeper, 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 you find that. And you go outer and outer and outer and outer, you also find it. Yeah. So this unity feeling of unity will come more. But nothing will come like this. And it's not like that. It's like that.
The way you did
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Like we make a lot of progress, we think, oh, I made so much progress, but then it goes like this. But then it goes like that.
That's life.
Yeah. Because we also have this tendency to think that everything will be a straight line up, but it's not. Yeah.
I was wondering that if you could expound more on the word mantra.
Okay. Okay. Mantra is also a word in Sanskrit. Man means mind. Tra means liberates. Mantra liberates the mind. From what? From its limitations. Because it's our thoughts that limit our mind. Like each thought is like a structure. And if we have a very, let's say, closed mind, that, like people say, it means we are limiting our mind to a certain dimension. And then we cannot go deeper within. It's like a block. So the mantra liberates the mind from that. And one can even repeat the mantra regularly, not even like you don't need to be there meditating, closing your eyes, but you can also repeat the mantra during your daily life or sing it. It also helps to keep the mind. And but it cannot substitute to do the silent meditation. Means you should always do it, even if you are thinking, oh, but I repeat the mantra a few times a day like that. But that doesn't substitute the idea of disconnecting from the senses and the motor organs and going deeper within. That's related, like, you know, yoga, it's a very deep science or study. They also, studied much the mind and how it works, and divided it in layers. Like we have the conscious mind that is dealing with the external world, the senses, the motor organs. Then we have the subconscious, that is the part that's thinking deeply, analyzing, intellect. And then there is a deeper layer where it's something deeper than the intellect. We call it intuition, but it's not this intuition like, oh, I have this intuition or that intuition. It's a synthetic approach, like, as an example, let's say that Newton was sitting there and then he sees the apple falling. He was not analyzing it intellectual. He just came, oh, gravity. It's like, so that is the synthetic approach of this third layer of the mind. It catches the thing in one moment, while the intellect is something fell down, there must be some reasoning intellect. That's second layer. Third layer, intuition. Fourth layer is like wisdom, like Buddha, as this, philosophers. They came with some deeper understanding of life or what everything is all about. And the deeper layer, fifth, is a layer of, let's say, serenity, perfection, where the origin of the wisdom is. So why these people are so wise? Because they could get it from there and then bring into the layer of wisdom. So, yeah. It's like within us, we have a little Newton or Einstein, a little Buddha, and a little something deeper that we can access and, let's say, stimulate it. Okay, so with mantra, you are carrying the mind deeper. The real meaning of the mantra, let's say, when you realize it, is the deepest part of our mind. Yeah. So like, for example, now if I say like, Baba Nam Kevalam, maybe today I understand it in a certain way, but maybe after 1 year, when I say it, I have a different concept of what it is. And maybe another year, my concept will be different. So that's and the mantras, people create mantras. So somebody creates the mantra. That person that creates the mantra must be able to go into that level to connect that idea to the words. For example, I have here a guitar. So the person who gave the name must know what a guitar is and gave the name to guitar, transformed that into a word. So in the same way, that person goes into that deepest part of oneself and transforms that into a word. That's how mantras get created. And when we repeat it, it's somehow stimulating our mind to go deeper and deeper. Yeah. The thing is that maybe we are trying to repeat the mantra, but we are not repeating because so many other things are coming, plus we don't have the concept yet. But as we stimulate it and we do it, the concept starts growing.
Found a serendipitous mantra that wasn't invented, that was noticed. In your life of watching, have you ever noticed or found a mantra that somebody did not invent but just noticed and said, yes, it's a natural one, as opposed to an invented or structured or architected one?
I'd say the thing is that somebody to do that must be able to
appreciate it.
No, to go to that level to I'd say, because
that's why I'm asking you.
yeah,
you know.
because like some mantras, they are like, how to say, that vibration has been put there, and it's vibrating all the time. It's like the mantra is playing all the time, but you can't hear it. But if you, how to say, sometimes you may be able to hear it. Like this mantra, Baba Nam Kevalam. Our teacher gave this mantra, and how he did, there was a gathering, and he asked some people, meditate deep, see if you hear anything. So they start meditating. Then one of them said, yes, I can hear something. So what do you hear? I hear some words. So what are the words? And like this, in the end, these were the words. Baba Nam Kevalam. So it's not like, the vibration has to be created very deeply so that it will be a mantra that works. Because there are so many mantras, but not all work the same. Yeah. So, it's a mantra science is a very deep one.
As well as a science like that.
Yeah. You know, there are mantras that can have physical effects also, but that's not the goal. Yeah. We hear that there is myths in our stories about it, like open sesame and the door opens and things like that. So we have myths like this in our own cultures. Yeah.
I think you're touching on this, but I lived in Nepal for a couple of years and did some meditation there out of Tibetan Buddhism. And I assume you're coming from more of a Hindu or Indian perspective. Is there any fundamental difference?
Yeah, the universality of it.
Uh-huh. The origin is the same. It's just went a little bit according to, like even went to China or to Tibet or to India. Yeah. So all came from a common origin. Yeah. And so you will find many similarities, but you find some differences. But the origin was a common one. Yeah. So like the practice we do, the origin is more than 7,000 years ago. Yeah. And so a lot of that is based on one common spiritual science. So they also use sounds, they also use the mantras. In general, many of the prayers are requesting, so like you're requesting something or like that. Yeah. So there is that difference. And the other is the prayers sometimes, because there are so many words and it's like a thought and it's doesn't have that same effect of just taking the mind deeper and deeper. Yeah. But the prayers can be a good preparation. Yeah. So like one is in the world, doing so many things. So goes into prayer, the mind comes more inside. Then take a step further. Yeah. Any practice that can bring us closer inside and deeper and, let's say, encourage more human values and divine qualities are positive. Yeah. Okay, anybody else? Questions? I'm here to answer your questions, so take the advantage. Doubts. One story, one person was talking about mantra and said, the mantra is a word that can change your mind. Then somebody in the audience said, I don't believe it. Then the person said, you are stupid. Then the guy became like mad, and you see, one word, how much it changed your mind. So we underestimate the power. Yeah. But as we were talking, same like exercise, don't expect that you will do a little bit and you will become more like, yeah. And you see, even the people who are exercising, they also think about so many aspects. they have to do the right exercise, they will follow a certain routine in their life, they will, eat in a certain way, then they will get the result. So in the same way, there are many things in our life that affect our mind. And sometimes we don't give so much importance to it. We take it for granted. But my theory is that anything that you do every day on a regular basis will have a very big impact on you. Could be the most simple thing. Let's say every day you wake up with the alarm clock and you say, no. That is a practice and it's having an effect on you. And it will make you in a certain way. And if you just change that, maybe you change the way you wake up, it already can change your life. Because you do it every day. Yeah. So in that way, like for example, some people say, oh, how is the life of a yogi? I say, we do the same thing other people do. We eat, we sleep, we talk, we walk, but we just do it with a little bit system and a little bit, more conscious of what we are doing and what is the effect of it on ourselves. Yeah. And some people say, oh, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. I said, no, you can do anything, but anything you do has a certain effect. If you don't want the effect, then you stop doing. If you want the effect, you keep doing. Yeah.
You mentioned the idea of intentionality of a yogi, and that jumped out at me as being, many of us go through life reacting, and you dedicated your life to intenting, or there's probably a better verb.
Yeah.
But the idea of not just reacting maybe is a better way to frame it.
Yes.
Can you?
We have a program we do in our place in upstate New York. We call it meditation, yoga, and living with purpose. So when there is a purpose, you, let's say, it gives you propulsion. Let's say you move towards the purpose. And this may be one situation in the present society that many people are here, but we don't really know the purpose. You know, like I come from Brazil, and we play soccer, let's say football, right? So I make the analogy. Imagine there are those 22 people in the field, and they are there, but they don't know why they are there, what they have to do. There is a ball, they are there, all in two different uniforms, but what do we have to do here, you know? And so when they know, okay, this is a game and this is the purpose of the game, then everything starts working. So now we come to this life, and it's, let's say we go to kindergarten, elementary school and high school and this and that, but the discussion about what's the purpose of life practically doesn't come. And that's why we live as a reaction. Let's say something happens, I like it, oh, I like this, so I will do more. Oh, I didn't like this, so I will not do it. And we are just reacting to what is happening in our life, and we go on like this until, and sometimes the thing comes that like midlife crisis, right? That what is it all about? But maybe you are too much into doing something that you just have to continue doing. And that's, I think, the reason why people live more in a reactive way instead of a purposeful way. Yeah. So it has to do with knowing what the purpose is and then going for.
You believe the meditation pulls out knowing that?
Well, in the process of meditation, you have to know. So why should I do meditation?
That's
Then,
my question. What's the goal at the end of it? But that's a very Western measure, and I know the goal is never done. My understanding is they're always.
Well, eventually the goal will come. Eventually you reach the goal. It may be because it's something finite. So the mind cannot conceptualize it or grasp it. But in the effort, there is one analogy they use. The analogy is a doll made of salt went to measure the depth of the ocean. So in the same way, when our mind is like expanding and expanding to measure or grasp this infinite, it also becomes infinite. Because all barriers fall.
It's
Yeah.
hard to picture.
Yeah.
Sorry. I get it.
Yeah.
That's probably great to know.
Yeah.
I like the salt thing. That's excellent.
Yeah. So the thing is, when you do meditation, don't get expectation. Don't sit there, now I should feel like this, now I should feel like that. That will limit what really has to happen. Yeah. And that's one tendency we have sometimes, that okay, because let's say in the physical world, if I drink this, let's say this much alcohol, my mind will go like this, and so you are already expecting that after you drink it, you will feel like that. But if you are meditating, thinking, okay, I meditate 5 minutes, I feel like that. 10 minutes, I feel like that. It not happen. Yeah. So, and it's not like, because I meditated 2 hours, then I reach that state. It could be that you just close the eyes and you already, yeah. But it could be that 2 hours you are there and your mind went all over, but you didn't get anything. Yeah.
So how do you help in a goal-oriented Western society, all about goals? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And trade-offs. How do you take it to such a leap of trust?
Yeah.
That this is actually really going to take you to a place you need to go.
Yeah.
We tell our kids that every day.
Yeah.
Learn your alphabet, you'll be able to communicate your ideas.
Yeah.
And they trust it, and
Yeah.
they trust us. When we get old, we know better.
Yeah.
So we think.
Yeah.
How
So,
do you, as a yogi,
Mhm.
come to a group of people that are, I would say, resistant because their patterns seem to not fail them?
yeah.
How do you get them to start trusting us more?
So what happens is let's say there is the goal and the final thing, but on the way there are, let's say, side effects. Let's say in that way. Let's say you are doing it and you are feeling a little bit more calm, and sometimes you really feel nice. Then that gives the assurance, especially to a more analytical mind, that I'm getting something. Yeah, yeah. So it might not be, you may think this is the goal, but this is just like things that you are getting on the way to the goal. Because the goal is beyond I cannot grasp it with the mind and explain like that. So it becomes so vague. But let's say we did meditation. So many times, and even with the pandemic, that there is Zoom, no? So I did many presentations, talks through Zoom. And I do also the same meditation with them through Zoom. So I've been doing with some colleges, and I use one interactive program that I ask questions and they reply with their cell phones very quick. And then I do meditation, then I ask, how did you feel after meditation? So I put much calmer, or just a little calmer, or a little bit, I really touched me deeply emotionally, okay? And I noticed that even through the internet, the reply was a lot, okay, some on the much calmer, some on the touched emotionally, and the majority on calmer. And the minority on I feel the same, very few. So in that way, means I do just, we did a few minutes. Then I tell them, okay, if you felt something in these very few minutes, just think that if you do it regularly, that what you felt will be increasing. Okay, so and that gives them some anchor to feel that, okay, I could get some benefit from it. Yeah. And in our society, when we are getting benefit, we keep doing. Yeah.
It seems like what you're aiming to do is to access what some people call the quantum field, the unquantifiable, leave the quantifiable world and go into the quantum field from which all manifestation arises?
Yes and no. Okay, so you see, the universe, let's say that we have the concept of, and now science is studying deeper and deeper and deeper. It's still, let's say, an external thing to us, no? And it has, how to say, and it's limited, okay? Even though it's really, how to say, very large, but it's still limited. And so it's a little bit beyond the, how to say, it's like you want to go to the raw material that makes everything. I don't know if it's the same thing. But I mean, there is something there, yeah. So we don't want to go to something that is, that we can conceptualize. It's beyond. So in the end, spirituality and science, there will be no contradiction, but science cannot go as deep. That's the, let's say, yeah. But there should not, it should not be a contradiction. Like whatever science is, let's say, discovering or proving or unraveling, should not be, spirituality is not in contradiction with that. If it is, it means this spiritual theory is defective, or it's not, how to say, because in the end, we human beings are inventing different theories to explain what's happening, right? And some, like in the same way of science, that different scientists went on discovering more and more new theories that explain, but still don't explain everything. The same way in this field of spirituality, different teachers or masters, they were giving different theories, but maybe some of the theories had a little flaw, and then, okay, that's not the one, and like that. So it's, in the end, it should be, how to say, in agreement. Yeah. My goal is always to encourage people to meditate. Means to take it, that's why I like to do this meditation in the presentations, so that you have something that when you go home you can do it, you know, and you can, because otherwise you will come here, we'll talk, and then you will go back home and, oh, it was nice, yeah, interesting. But there is nothing that you are carrying with you. So this is something that it's yours, and how to say, it will not increase your bills. So, and you can make an experiment, practice every day. Even, I say, like, even if you do 5 minutes, let's say 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, we do meditation on an empty stomach, because when you're meditating, your energy is going to your brain, and if you eat, your energy is going here. So 2 things may happen. If you eat and then meditate, either you cannot meditate, or you have digestion problem. So let's say before breakfast, you are going to eat breakfast, you say, no, I have to meditate. So 5 minutes there, try to repeat the mantra. Maybe your mind will go everywhere. Still it is working. Even if you think it's not working, just by you sitting there and making an effort to do it is working. So you did your 5 minutes, then you go and take your breakfast. Same, let's say, before dinner, if you can do, Or before you go to sleep, you are going to sleep, you just sit on the bed, 5 minutes, repeat the mantra, then sleep. And if you do it regularly, in a short time, you will notice subtle changes in you, like in the way you live, in the way you face your life, like that. You may not, at the moment of meditation, be super peaceful. It may be that you are trying with your mind and you are only 1 minute, oh my God. But it's working, So, and if you can make that happen, you will get some benefits. Yeah. So thank you very much. And you have some connection with Krishna and Malati here, and maybe with Steve here. And they can answer future questions and encourage you to, we have a lot of literature also, and introductory or deeper philosophy, if you are all interested. Thank you for coming, taking your time, joining us. Okay, namaskar.